Ah, my dear friends, pull up a chair and let's talk about the truth. Not the kind you whisper under your breath, not the kind you sugarcoat to spare someone's feelings, but the raw, unfiltered kind. The truth they hate. The truth they couldn't hide from you. You saw right through their games, every deceitful move, every calculated step, every cunning smile. It was all laid bare before your eyes. You peeled back the layers of their carefully constructed facade, and what did you find? Fear, fragility, a hollow shell of the person they pretended to be, and oh, how it terrified them. You weren't supposed to figure it out. You weren't supposed to question them. You were supposed to stay blind, to play along, to be the puppet in their little show. But you didn't, did you? No. You refused to play the role they signed you. You stared into the abyss of their lives, and the abyss stared back. It blinked. It faltered. Because for the first time, someone saw them for who they truly were. Not the mask they wore, but the person behind it. And that, my dear, is a horror they weren't prepared to face. They'd built their identity on illusion, on smoke and mirrors. They convinced themselves they were invincible, untouchable, always in control. But you shattered that illusion with a single look, a single word, a single act of defiance. They tried to manipulate you, to pull you into their games. They wanted you to believe their lies, to question your own reality, to doubt yourself. But instead, you turned the tables. You held up a mirror. And for the first time, they had to confront their own reflection. And that reflection, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't the charming, flawless persona they'd crafted. It was a patchwork of insecurity, deceit, and desperation. It was the truth they've been running from their entire lives. They'll tell themselves it's your fault, of course. They'll say you're the one who ruined everything, that you're the villain in their story. But deep down, they know the truth. They know they can't blame you for seeing what was already there. You didn't create their flaw. You simply refused to ignore it. You didn't destroy their facade. You revealed it. And for that, they'll hate you. They'll despise you. Because you represent the one thing they can't control, reality. Their games. Their drama. Their endless cycle of manipulation, it all falls apart when faced with someone who knows their worth. Someone who refuses to be played. Someone who stands firm in the face of their chaos and says, no more. And that's what you did. You said no more. You walked away from their games, their lies, their facade. You chose yourself over their illusion. And that, my friend, is the ultimate act of defiance. But don't think for a second that they've forgotten you. Oh no. You live rent-free in their mind. A constant reminder of a king they couldn't conquer. You're the one who got away. The one who saw through their charade. The one who refused to play by their rules. They'll replay every moment in their mind, searching for the moment you figured them out. They'll wonder how they lost control, how they let their mask slip. They'll need you for it, but they'll also fear you because you're living proof that their games don't always work. And that fear, it's their punishment. It's the price they pay for underestimating you, for thinking they could outsmart someone like you. Because now, every time they try to play their games, they'll hear your voice in the back of their mind, reminding them of their failure. They'll try to move on, to rebuild their facade, to find someone else to manipulate. But it won't be the same, because now they know there's someone out there who sees through them, someone who can't be fooled, someone who knows their truth. One man can break through just as someone else can rebuild their fool. And that someone is you. You're their reckoning, their karma, their undoing. Not because you wanted it to be, because they left you no choice. They forced your hand, and now they have to live with the consequences. But don't let their regret weigh you down. Don't let their games haunt you, because you've already won. You've walked away from their chaos, their lies, their manipulation. You've chosen peace, truth, and authenticity. You've chosen yourself. And that, my friend, is the most powerful choice of all. Because in choosing yourself, you've proven that their games don't define you. Their lies don't control you. Their facade doesn't affect you. You're stronger than they ever imagined. You're wiser than they ever gave you credit for. And you're braver than they could ever hope to be. Because it takes courage to face the truth, to see people for who they really are, to walk away from what doesn't serve you. So let them hate you. Let them fear you. Let them lie that they couldn't break you. Because in the end, their opinion doesn't matter. What matters is that you stay true to yourself. You saw the truth, you embraced it, and you acted on it. You refused to settle for less than you deserve. You refused to be a pawn in their game. You refused to let their facade define your reality. And as the days roll on, their memories of you won't fade. They'll sharpen like daggers aimed at their own ego. Every smile you wear, every success you achieve, every moment you thrive, will echo in their mind as a reminder of what they lost. They'll see your light shining brighter without them, and wonder how they ever convinced themselves they could dim it. They'll tell themselves lies to ease the pain, fabricating stories where they were the victim and you the villain. But even in their quietest moments, those lies will crumble. They'll sit in silence and be haunted by the truth you revealed, that their games were never enough to control you. You see, people like them thrive on the illusion of power. They need to believe they're in control, that they can bend others to their will. But you broke that illusion with grace, not malice. And that, my friend, is what terrifies them the most. Your power lies in your calm, not in their chaos. And while they drown in the venom of their regret, you're out here building a life they can only dream of. Not because you're trying to spite them, but because you've always had that strength within you. You've always had the ability to rise above, to transform pain into power, and to turn their attempts at control into a stepping stone for your growth. You've become a mirror they can't escape, a reflection of everything they tried to suppress in you, your confidence, your dignity, your refusal to play their games. It's all staring back at them now, and it's unbearable. For the first time, they're seeing themselves not as they want to be, but as they truly are. And oh, how they'll try to distract themselves. They'll bury themselves in new games, new victims, new ways to chase the power they once thought they had. But deep down, they'll always know it wasn't you who lost them. It was they who lost you. And that loss, it's a wound that will never fully heal. You see, their entire existence is built on a fragile foundation of ego and deceit. They can't handle someone who knows their worth, someone who stands up to them, someone who doesn't crumble under their manipulations. You exposed their foundation for what it was: weak, unstable, and incapable of supporting anything real. And the irony is, they underestimated you from the start. They mistook your kindness for weakness, your patience for passivity, your silence for submission. But you were never weak. You were observing, calculating, waiting for the moment to break free. And when you did, it was with a strength they couldn't fathom. Your departure wasn't just an exit. It was a revelation. It showed them that their control was an illusion, that their games were futile, that their facade couldn't withstand the light of truth. And now they're left to grapple with a reality they can't escape, a reality where you're thriving. And they're still stuck in their own cycle of destruction. But don't waste your time pitying them. Their suffering is their own doing. They had a choice, and they chose to play games instead of building something real. They chose to manipulate instead of being honest. They chose their ego over the chance to grow. And now you're the one who got away. You're the one they'll compare everyone else to. The standard they can't match. The lesson they'll never forget. You didn't just walk away. You walked away with your dignity intact, leaving them to face the wreckage of their own actions. They'll spend countless nights replaying your strength in their minds, wishing they could rewrite the story, but they can't. The past is etched in stone, and the future is yours to shape. They'll watch from the sidelines as you continue to rise, powerless to stop your ascent. And isn't that the ultimate irony? The person they thought they could control is now the one they can't forget. The one they thought they could break is now the one they envy. The one they underestimated is now the one who was moved on without a second glance. You're free now, free from their games, their lies, their manipulation. Free to be yourself, to embrace your worth, to build a life that reflects the strength they tried so hard to suppress. And that freedom, it's a gift they'll never be able to take away. So let them stew in their regret. Let them wrestle with their ego. Let them live with the knowledge that they were their own undoing. Because while they're stuck in their cycle of chaos, you're out here creating a life of peace, joy, and authenticity. That, my friend, is the sweetest revenge. Not that you sought revenge, but that you simply chose yourself. You chose to break the cycle, to walk away, to rise above. And in doing so, you've written never to forget, a lesson they'll carry with them forever. You didn't just escape their games, you transcended them. You didn't just survive their manipulation. You thrived in spite of it. And now you're a force they'll always remember, a symbol of strength they'll always envy, a lesson they'll always regret. So hold your head high, because you've done what so many others can't. You've stood up to their abuse, exposed their games, and walked away with your dignity intact. You're not just a survivor, you're a testament to the power of knowing your worth.